The Dark Claymore. Eh, I'm just gonna call it the Claymore. Skyblock's most powerful melee weapon is a dungeon weapon that can only be dropped from Master Mode 7. And on top of that, it has a 0.07 to 0.08% drop chance, and even if you get it in the chest, you have to cough up 150 mil coins to even open it. So, if you can't be asked to drop it, you can always just pay 300, 400 mil for a clean one on the auction house. So, it's safe to say that this is an exclusive weapon. So with that, let me say that it's easily one of the strongest and more versatile weapons in the game. Let me break this down for you. The Claymore has no ability of any kind. It's purely a weapon that's entirely reliant on its left click, and rightfully so. The first thing you'll probably notice about the Claymore is that it's a longsword. This basically just means that instead of having a hit range of 3 blocks like when using your fist, you can hit things from up to 5 blocks away. And to be honest, that's never going to be a useful stat. If you can afford a Claymore, you can also probably afford a God Pot here and there, or other forms of speed boost, so you'll already be moving at insane speeds and won't really be able to position yourself in a way to take advantage of a full 5 block range. Plus, like, every mob closes in on you, and most of them don't even take knockback. And if you really wanted range, you would probably use like a Terminator. The Claymore also has 2 Jasper slots, but to steer us back onto topic, what's actually special about the Claymore is its insane base damage stats, starting at a massive 500 damage, and on top of that, another 100 strength and 30 crit damage. So, essentially, this large chunky thing was meant to slay God himself. 500 damage is unheard of in this game, besides the Giant Sword. But the strength and crit damage gives it an edge over the G Sword, especially through Kata boost. While the strength and CD may not sound like much to you, they actually make way for enchants to be practical, rather than the one for all enchant that's typically seen on giant swords. For those who don't know, the one for all enchant removes all other enchants, but increases weapon damage by 500%. And the enchants are what makes the Claymore really powerful, but I'll explain that in a second. It's actually kind of funny. I mean, who would have thought that 100 strength and 30 crit damage could make such a difference? Now that we fully covered why the Claymore is truly powerful, let's talk about how to see its full strength and, to be honest, its practical strength. You may have been wondering where the Claymore is useful and at its strongest, and well, I can name 2 instances for you. The Claymore is the strongest left-click mage weapon. The damage and strength this weapon has makes the mage beam a menace. And to be honest, if there isn't an oddly specific and powerful weapon for a certain niche, like the daggers in Blaze Slayer or the Atom Split in E-Man Slayer, the Claymore can definitely overpower this niche. For example, I get faster kills using my Claymore over the Axe of the Shredded in Rev Slayer. And I have to actually mention something about the Claymore, because I'm sure there's still some confusion about why the Claymore is so strong. You see, there's just one teensy little thing with the Claymore if you want to see an actual powerful use out of it. You're going to want at least T7 enchants and Chimera 3 with a 1 bill Golden Dragon to even think about wanting to use this weapon. Allow me to explain myself real quick though. The Claymore is a really powerful weapon with really powerful base stats, so think of it as a gateway rather than an instrument the Skyblock gods created and handed down to us, all bowed up and ready to go. The blood mobs in Master Mode 7 are really tanky, and without blessings, there are some cases where you'll end up 2-tapping blood mobs with a max Claymore until you get the blessings to cover the difference. Even ghosts have 1 million health points each, and before the Claymore and Golden Dragon, there was no weapon that could 1-tap high-level mobs, and high-health mobs like that. Before Master Mode 7 came out, we used to rely on Archer to Blood Camp, and relied on Berserkers to clear M6, and even Master Mode 7 for a time until we learned the Claymore made Mage a viable class. Remember, Mage is a really low health class, and it's a matter of killing everything before it kills you. So, to wrap this review up, the Claymore is the weapon that made high-level Master Mode as we know it possible, and for that, it does deserve all your love. And once you get past the initial investment, I promise you won't look back. This weapon is so fun to use. And for the sake of players wanting to play left click mage in master mode, you're definitely going to need this weapon and to stack it with some OP enchants. And that's just about everything. If you like this type of review or had any questions, let me know in the comments, and I'll be happy to adhere to a request or respond to questions. I plan on making more reviews on just about every item in the game, so if you want, check those out as I upload them. And with that, this review is officially over.